Joining me now is someone whom we cannot identify, but who's been at the receiving end of this violence. Her daughter is one of the women we've seen in that viral video, and she is going to tell us very briefly about where she stands today, because given the fact that we've also been advised that she is traumatized by what she's seen around her, and questions asking her about what she's been through might only make her relive that trauma. So we will not ask her those questions, but I'd like to ask her, ma'am, in these last few days, you've gone through a lot. You've seen loss of lives. You've seen your daughter being assaulted. How are you doing now? Have you been able to reach some sort of stability in terms of coming to terms with what has happened to you and to your family?
Kalungan na tisu apa la ikhet lupik tau anaw la khen lum tau te hi simmo taga e bol hile thing tang mi te akihi je ga en e simmo ga tabang hi e bol hi kalung chu akimpo Manipur government in labang ma e ngai sak talo India nu le paten bang ti gola kahin ho kamat ding hem kanam sungo hi nangon e ngai to pegun kati hi
Amon na taksa.
Pathin zala chu talo chu kanei poi le taksa hi na zala chun sun le zana ka gel lok tak le haksa ka sa tu hin le ke le doctor ke en kol jing lai ka hi tu hin le ka taksa ading chun
Ma'am, how are you looking at your future now? Because obviously we can't ask you too many questions, but how are you now looking at your future? You've lost members of your family. How do you see living your life, and especially after what you've been through?
haksa chu ka sai ka chapalom talo ka kine pi pen som pani hung pa sile ama kal kilam era gen thei tagale ka sim sagane ka paulom talo ka chapalen pen le labang ma sem le la hilo hi ka kilam en na ding hi ka ngai thole kalunga khama ke man gen kalunga khami ti khela chun gen di bang ma ka helo
Ma'am, now obviously you're displaced. You have terrible memories of that day of violence. When do you see yourself going back to a life of normalcy? When do you see yourself simply returning to your village?
ngai to phalo in lam khosak ki ding chu ka in lam chu che thei ki ta lo ding ka khosak ding da no ilama chu khosa thei ta lo di ka hi ba tu hin je lam ma chu che le ka che nom him him po khole khosa thei lo ding ka in ka lo la ki hal zo ta khoi ka wa khosak ding ka in ka lo la ta lo ka kho ka veng le ta lo he chu ke che ding in lama che ding nom lo ka ta tu hin ka khosak na ding hi ka lampi ding hi bang ahem kan le ka he thei lo ta in lama wang chu che ki nom ta po
She's been through a lot, and obviously her trauma is something that perhaps she will take a long time to recover from. But in sharing her experiences, perhaps what we've understood and what we've been told is that she is still obviously struggling to come to terms with what has happened. But what perhaps worries her most is the future. In this cycle of violence, when do they go back to their normal lives? Can they go back to their normal lives? She's lost her son, her husband. She's staring at instability, societal instability, financial instability. And these are the real world concerns, even as she struggles with the trauma, the pain, and the loss of losing her loved ones, and then seeing her daughter going through humiliation, torture, and sexual assault in this cycle of violence, in this cycle of ethnic violence in Manipur. With camera person GD Shankar, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.